Hey, what's happening, folks? This is Casey Jewett here.
Hello, I'm Brandon Watson.
I've been in the brewing industry for about 6 years now. I've worked for Megaton, Ingenious Brewing Company.
I've been in the craft industry for the last 3 years. I started at Backpew and I've been with Megaton as the sales manager for the last year and a half.
I've been a sales rep for Deca Beer Co. for about a year now, and I also run their social media accounts.
I'm the creator of a local Houston-made drinking card game called F Your Liver. Welcome to the Beer Someone podcast. Hello and welcome to Beer Someone. We are at Premium Draught. I'm Brandon.
This is Casey.
And we have a special guest today, Addam. Addam, what's your last name again?
Loew.
Addam Loew.
Addam Loew.
I know. I should have been due diligent and just known that.
One syllable. It's easy. It's fine.
Yeah.
But Addam, you've been in the craft beer scene for a little while now.
I think it's going to be like 12 years at this point. In
Wow.
December. Yes.
Okay, and we're at Premium Draught. Tell us about Premium Draught a little bit.
It's textbook micropub, so it's everything that you usually would want in a bar, minus the liquor. You know, the experience, the intimacy, just smaller, micro scale. We are 12 years old as a business now, and when I first initially started here,
You've been here, what, year and a half?
a year and some change.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was a regular here for 3 years before that, so I've been here for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Before this, you were at Heights Biergarten. Is that
Yeah,
right?
for 3.5 years.
Yeah,
Yes.
right
I've been everywhere, and most people know me from Rudyard's. That's
That's
where
right.
where I was for a little while.
How long were you at Rudyard's for?
About a year.
How long were you at Heights Beer Garden for?
3.5.
3.5. And
Yeah.
you were the beer buyer there. That's when I first met you.
Yes.
Okay. Did you
Nice.
ever meet him at Heights Beer Garden, or you met him here?
No. There was another gentleman there that was buying the beer whenever I did a little bit of that with
Huey?
Ingenious. No, it was like Mike or it was like a very
The
basic.
new guy.
No, not new now. No, this is like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Michael.
Yeah,
Michael,
yeah.
He's doing okay. He's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, good. He was a cool dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a good
He's
dude.
Still industry. He works at a sushi place now.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a great dude, but yeah, they've gone through a few different buyers there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Buying for 95 taps is not easy.
Yeah.
For
But
sure.
I was
It's a
already
lot.
selling beer there, and I was selling beer here when you came upon here. And you worked for Johnny. Johnny's a really cool guy. In
Super
the
cool.
Community.
Yeah.
Shout out
Uh,
to Johnny.
Very upcoming on 25 years experience with
25
draft
years?
systems and everything. So it's not there anymore, and so there's no way to really ask the staff. But before he opened this business, and before he was at Little Woodrow's, he worked at Ginger Man.
Ginger Man.
Yeah, so that's where he cut his teeth. That's where he
I don't know
got
Ginger
a lot of
Man.
that
Do you know
experience.
Ginger Man?
Are you familiar with the Ginger Man? Is this the first time you're hearing about it?
Yeah.
Ooh, local history and lore. So
Okay.
the Ginger Man is basically the original, not including Rudyard's. Rudyard's is a British pub. They just had their beer centric, and they have been. But Ginger Man was like the original craft beer bar in
Okay.
Houston. It was in Rice Village, behind a bunch of trees, and you have to know where it is. I
I'm
don't
assuming
blame
it's
people for
closed
not
now,
knowing.
right? The
It
way we're
closed. It closed last year. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I never
COVID
went
killed
there?
it. COVID killed it. Yeah.
Oh no.
Dude, I've
Yeah.
never heard of this place.
I mean everything. Like we're talking.
It's pretty cool.
We're like cask. It was the only place in Houston that you could get cask,
Okay.
which was really notable.
That's awesome.
The first time that I went in there, they had St. Arnold Alyssa on cask, and I mean that was a fucking religious experience.
I
dude.
bet, yeah.
That was incredible, man.
man, that
Yeah,
is
and-
really cool.
That was definitely like an early spark towards like really traditional ways
Yeah.
that are being poured, and like when you go the extra mile, it tastes so much better. I miss the little cool things that St. Arnold does too.
Yeah. I actually was at like St. Arnold twice last week. I swung by with my family on Saturday, had a couple beers. Super awesome. I don't go to St. Arnold that much, and they came out and gave me like 2 beers for $6 or something like that.
Oh,
And then I went on Monday while I was sending emails for Megaton, a text message trying to get some orders, and I had a burger, and they gave me all my beers free.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
just-
awesome.
I didn't ask for
And
that.
that's not
I
they're
didn't even tell them I was.
they
Megaton
take
boy.
care of their industry
really?
people, but they're not
Okay.
known for doing that. They're not known for like because
Yeah,
a
I'm
lot of
sorry,
breweries
maybe I
take
shouldn't
care
be
of.
saying that.
No, I think it's an interesting topic to bring up because like I think that just shows like how much You're a beer someone. You're
No,
somebody.
but they don't know that. They didn't recognize me from Beer Someone. They saw my Megaton hat and my Megaton shirt. If you're
Yeah.
wearing 2 pieces of clothing from a brewery, you probably work for them.
Yeah, and they just know. Yeah. No, that's the thing is most breweries take care of fellow brewery people. So it's the thing.
Like No Label always does. I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever paid for a beer at No Label.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it's not. And
That's
yet again,
industry
it's
right
not.
there.
I'm
It's definitely an
asking-
industry perk for sure.
It's not that I'm asking. No, that's not true. Maybe in the last year and a half, but
Gotcha.
early No Label when I would go back in the day, yeah, I paid for beers. But ever since I've been industry, I don't think I've paid for a beer.
Yeah.
Is what I meant.
I'm used to not paying full price.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. Is like when you're constantly.
buyer, though.
Well, when you're constantly yeah, but it shouldn't.
We
be.
sell beer. Me and
It
Casey
shouldn't-
both sell beer. to
It
Addam.
shouldn't be like that, And like.
We're just dropping off beers every week for you to try. How much beer do you have in your fridge right now?
It's like,
Don't wait in my personal fridge.
Yeah.
None actually.
No? They
I,
stay
I
here?
have a
I don't
kegerator.
bring him that many samples.
No, I have a kegerator, man. Those days are over, man. If I
Yeah.
want beer, I just get a keg.
Yeah.
But I'm here so much, and I'm able to just take things home and being able to play ball and buy everything. And I have personally had a paradigm shift with what I'm really into, because I kind of drink in patterns, and I'm coming back to what I started with, which is just really traditional Belgians.
Yeah.
And there's so much more that's available now, and at least locally, we're getting a lot better.
I want to
at
get into
brewing
your
the
beer
Belgian
taste
stuff.
because you definitely have, and you know a lot about beer and a lot about beer history. But I want to, before we get into that, I want to talk about the Premium Draught.
Okay.
So how many beers do you have in bottles and cans that people just come up here and
About 500.
500 and all varieties? Like each fridge is a different style, right?
Yes, it is to make it easy. It is separated by style. There's tags. I try to group things that are kind of similar tasting in category, so it's like a rainbow, so that it's not even just about the shelf. It's like, okay, when people start learning the system and how it's organized, they have a more accurate way they can guesstimate a lot more easily. I think when it comes to helping people grow and finding a way to encourage them and not challenge them, not shock them with new things, because I think a lot of people are just really put off when they're trying to be shown certain things, and I don't necessarily think it's the intensity or the
I think
fervor.
I used to be, and I've changed that recently. I want to just try everything,
Right.
And I want to learn from people that know more than I do, like yourself. That I know you picked out a couple beers for us to try today.
Yeah.
Right now, by the way, I just want to point. I'm drinking a rice lager. Who's this from?
True Anomaly.
True Anomaly's
Lager.
rice
True Anomaly.
lager.
I love True Anomaly's rice lager.
Yeah, so there's been a surge of rice lagers in Houston as of recently, and I'm here to try them all.
It's a fun trend.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice break
Yeah.
from that traditional kind of, well, if it works, why don't fix it kind
Right.
of just pale lager.
Yeah.
The really cool part is, so there's two things that I want to bring up with the rice lager, is that collab that they did at Big Owl, the Koji Ale, back when Von Grimm, the distill rep, was still here. That blew my mind, man. I had never had anything like that, and the rice bill was really complicated, and that mouthfeel was really, really unique. And then now, what's going to be really cool is that because rice is so much cheaper than malt most of the time,
Yeah.
we're not talking about fancy stuff, but can you imagine rice lagers that are made with different styles? So a rice red ale would be fucking bomb. And I want to this is the gateway. The rice lager, just something super light, is super easy. It's not super challenging. Testing the waters.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So I think coming forward in the next couple of years, we're going to see some cool stuff.
So you think this could be something that could trend towards not just the rice lager?
I've been
could do-
seeing a lot more rice lagers.
Could
lately.
use the rice as to make a different style. Is that what you're saying?
As an adjunct. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
There could even be if those origins and the ingredients and the style is coming from Japan, what happens when Japanese IPA becomes a style?
Is it considered an adjunct? That's one thing I would like to know.
Ooh, I think that has to do with the ratio of the malt bill. I really do.
Really?
Yeah. So at one point in time, if the rice is the majority, it's a rice lager. But if you're only adding a little bit, that's an adjunct. It's not the majority.
Is that is this official?
That's how I look at it.
Oh, okay.
That's how I look at it.
Because it's just it's one of those curious questions, who decides that? Who's the beer Bible people.
Who are these people?
Who writes these laws? But I am curious because like it's one of those things like Bud Light has rice in it, if I'm not mistaken.
It is a rice lager.
It's a rice lager, but that's why people used to say I don't like adjunct beers, especially when I was in Ingenious. I heard that a lot.
Talking
And I'm
about
like, Bud
corn.
Light's an
They're
adjunct
talking
beer.
about corn.
Well,
which,
yeah.
which I totally understand. I like it. That's why I like Lone Star is my cheap beer because it's like drinking a tortilla chip. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But the rice lagers can get sweet,
Yeah.
which is something that you don't really notice, and then you have the third one. You're like, oh,
I had Great Heights rice lager about a week or two ago at East End Hardware.
How was
And
that?
it had a little bit of a sweetness to it that I really liked.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there thinking, man, like if I had,
You said equal parts?
When I eat, no.
Which one?
I was at East End Hardware.
Oh, East End Hardware.
Yeah. I was at East End Hardware, but I tried Great Heights.
Great Heights,
I don't remember the name, but it was a rice lager they had, and it had a sweet flavor. But I was sitting there thinking, like, I love having rice lagers with sushi or sashimi.
Okay.
But I always have spice with it, and I'm like, man, this would go really well with something spicy, because that sweet going with the spicy would just, man.
You just sold me on that, by the way.
Telling you, man, like it's money. I like Great Heights.
You a big sushi guy?
I like their, but I can see some people not. Yeah, I am.
Okay. I like sushi as well.
I could see some people not liking that sweetness, though. I could see it being off-putting for some people, but I liked it. And I normally don't like sweet, but I like theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we were talking about Premium Draught a second ago. If somebody wanted to learn a lot of beer knowledge and try a lot of things fast, this would be a place to definitely try variety.
Yeah, come and talk to me, especially like this is
Adam or
totally,
Johnny, very knowledgeable
totally
in beer.
everyone, yeah. Yeah, that's what we do here.
And you have beer on tap here too. This is, if you can't see, it's a
16
small. They have to-go beer, but they also have 16 taps. What kind of beer you got on tap right now out of your 16 taps?
It's kind of like a rainbow, so we try to have a little bit of everything. So there's something light, there's something sour, there's always a pilsner, there's something darker.
So Swickle beer.
Malt ales, so like, and so some categories are a little harder to fill. So like, for example, like number 5 is our malt ale category. That's almost always going to be English.
You do all the beer buying, right?
Yes, sir. I buy everything.
Okay.
I buy everything.
You buy
It's a sense of pride with that, right? Like you take pride in that.
It took a long time to get to this point. I worked my ass off to get to this point.
You know what I kind of think of it too? You remember when you used to go to like Blockbuster, not maybe like a movie rental shop, and they would have like Jack's section of the movies Jack recommended, and maybe you agree with Jack and you like Jack's point of view, so you would get movies from Jack's section.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
Yeah,
Back in the like 90s.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that, but with beer. This is
having like a suggestion.
yeah,
kind
but
of
you're
area.
the ones determining what's coming on tap, so it's kind of like going inside your taste buds when people are.
Well, to some degree, so you got to also pick what sells too.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
and like when it comes to certain
you
things,
always have
like,
different stuff here, though. You don't produce a lot of.
you have to be eclectic, and that when you only have 16 taps and it's rotating that fast, you have to be a little bit more conscious about having that variety. And I focus on import. Like I would probably say that like I'm more of a specialist in that context.
Yeah.
It's what I started with. It's what I know most about, and that's what I've traveled and done just generally the most research for. Is when it comes at least to the stuff in Texas, especially being a beer buyer, it kind of falls in my lap because I'm going to have those samples dropped off. I'm going to have a much better opportunity to have those things fresh, and I get to talk and give feedback to the local breweries.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like,
You do give feedback, by the way. He'll try a beer and then he'll tell me
yeah,
what he thinks of that beer.
it's not good, but that's
It's
the thing.
not always nice feedback.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. I love that.
It's nothing is going to get better until you're not afraid to give that negative feedback. It's like, dude, it's not y'all. It's
I
like,
think
people,
negative
also,
feedback is
like,
important.
But his negative feedback also was accurate.
Yeah.
That was the other thing too. That I've gotten negative feedback before, and I'm like, I don't know if that's true. But whenever he's told me something about a beer that we've had in the past, I fully agreed, and I was like, I totally see where you're coming from.
100%.
And we don't make that beer anymore.
It's okay.
Yes, not
We'll be
not because
okay.
of your suggestion, but just because I think we realized that we had other candidates that could do a lot
kill
better.
beers.
Yeah, I mean,
You're a beer killer.
yeah.
You make a little beer too, right?
Oh God, it's very, very sporadically. I don't have any brewing equipment at the moment. I have to sell like all of it
I
to pay
know,
for bills.
and I'm sorry, I got to bring it up. You're working with doing something with New Magnolia.
It's somewhere
in the process.
I don't know exactly when, but we'll be doing a collaboration beer with them, and I am leaning towards a very, very old school traditional Czech Pilsner, double decoction, whole 9 yards. I've spent basically over COVID trying to assemble from little pieces on the internet that I can still find of this old ass Pilsner recipe from a brewery that doesn't exist anymore.
New Magnolia is kind of known for doing that as well.
Hyper traditional, as traditional as they possibly can.
They
like,
bring
no
recipes
holds
back
barred.
from the dead.
Yes. So I gave them a light and a dark Czech recipe. We chose the light because it'll be fun, but we want to sell it too.
Yeah.
So we're going to go with that. And I mean, as soon as I know what's going on, I can at least kind of let people know. They are very, very swamped with their own work at the moment, but that's good. It's growing
That's because they make good beer.
It's
and
good
stay
to be busy.
Yep. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah, very good to be busy.
Very good location. I love New Magnolia. It's a
I
great
do too.
brewery.
Yeah.
We were talking about that on the way up here.
We were talking about them, and because Cody holds high regard to John, the head brewer there, and I definitely do too. I've tried their beers. I haven't tried as many as I would like to say that I have, but out of what I've tried, one thing I noticed is that, and I talked to one of I think he's not a brewer, but he's an owner, and I can't remember his name. He's a younger guy.
Younger guy from where?
He's from New Magnolia.
Okay.
It's really I can't remember his name, but yes, it is Shane.
Shane.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, Shane.
I had a great
Yes.
conversation with him after the Pink Boot Society event at a Bad Astronaut. It was like a year ago.
Yeah.
And we sat there for I felt like we talked for an hour. And one thing he was talking to me about was their water treatment, how they treat their water. And
Yeah.
they take a lot of pride in that, and I thought that was super, super cool.
It's the majority of the beer. It is what is most important, period. Your water profile, if your water sucks,
I fully
or
agree.
if it's wrong, no, it's not
Yeah.
going to work. And which, just to make a point on how important that is, y'all ever wondered why Kolsch is so popular in Texas? Because our water is perfect for ales. Like,
Okay.
Real Ale and Southern Star built their breweries in the exact locations where they are because they went, I know for a fact that Real Ale went around all Texas and they found just the right well water that didn't need a lot of treatment and built their brewery right there.
So
That's why Hans Pils is so fucking good. And they has like that almost like sulfuric
So
kind
there's
of
some minerality to it, yeah.
You see that Firefighter 4 won yesterday in CBC? I'm sure.
Yeah. It's a good fucking blonde ale, man. It's just good. It's, and it,
Did you see what Hopadillo won for like English ale or something like that?
English IPA?
No, not IPA. It was something like English ale or something.
That's wrong. I don't like that.
What? It was a weird. Maybe it wasn't English ale. It was a weird category.
It was something weird. Okay.
It was something really weird. I was.
And I mean, there's
the Cove with Leo from Galveston.
Yeah, and there's styles that when they're named something is not actually that style. St. Arnold is infamous for that. Their Oktoberfest is not an Oktoberfest; it's a Scottish ale. That's an example. And Summer Pils is a Helles.
Yeah.
It's just little things. Doesn't matter to the guest, but it matters when it comes to categorization. That's weird. I'll need to look at all of the results at some point for that.
Hopadillo
look
won
at 'em
for a
too.
weird category that it shouldn't have been in.
Okay,
I'm trying to remember what the category was.
Okay.
Well,
We'll look it up
now
on the
that we
break.
brought it up, we gotta mention all of them.
Okay, let's talk about them. I don't know them all off the top of my head.
I don't either. I know No Label won a gold medal for their perpetual.
That's their
perpetual
best. That's
piece.
their best beer.
Yeah.
I
That's
got my phone in
that
do not
beer is
disturb
just
mode. If you want to look that up, we could
stuck
talk
out
about
of
it. That would be a
time.
cool thing to talk about. You want to talk about the CBC awards and what Houston breweries won?
Oh shit! Let me pull up the list too.
Yeah. Okay. I can't.
Because
because my
I know
memory-
there were 3 Houston breweries that won medals.
Because I knew
I know
about it.
No
and
Label won.
No Label,
Was it equal parts? 1-1.
equal parts was for their Bohemian Pilsner.
Yeah.
I think I got silver, and then
Who else? Well, Hopadillo.
it wasn't True Anomaly, was it?
I
No.
think True Anomaly did win something.
Was it True Anomaly?
Yeah.
True
Hold
Anomaly
on.
won silver for Flanders Red Redux.
It was them.
And
I
it was
saw
at
their
World
photo today.
World Beer Awards.
I saw the
Yeah.
photo today.
And
Yeah.
I think the other 2 entries were like just out of nowhere. I think one was from Japan, and then or they might both have been.
There was a lot of winners out of Japan this year. I want to do one of those one day. I want to go to the
How did you
CBC.
find just the Houston ones?
Because people posted it. That's it. I was just thinking, I'm like, there's no website I can go to, but I saw people.
I'm trying
people
to
were
filter through
posting
it,
it.
and I'm
So,
like, cool,
so this
I'm
is the
gonna look through all
photo.
this.
I don't know if the camera can be on me, but
Yeah, I can put the camera on you.
there's one photo from True Anomaly.
Yeah.
That was their photo they posted today.
We're showing the camera photos on Casey's phone.
Yeah, they live streamed.
A live stream.
Where
Wait,
does it
let's keep
say it?
talking.
Just
Well, I
keep
don't-
talking. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I don't
You
know
know,
Yeah,
where
dead
the,
air. Sorry about that.
Hey, you want to
Did
see
they win
a
or
cool
were they just
sticker?
there?
Yeah, show them the sticker.
Yeah, let's show them the sticker. We got now we got some beers. We're not selling these, but so I don't. If you're here, maybe we'll give you one. I don't know.
Yeah, just leave a stack. We'll give them to guests.
Yeah. Anybody want a sticker?
It's sticky time. Come on, be a sticky boy. Be a
Yeah,
sticky
it's a
boy.
beer someone sticker. You want one to start? Yeah. This is our podcast. It's called Beer Someone. And
We'll
we're
tell you
on
what we
seventh episode right
what
now.
we can talk about without.
You want a sticker?
This was the post I saw.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, yeah. He always has the info.
But I don't know what beer
Okay,
it was for
well,
True Anomaly.
hey, look,
You
look
said
at
you knew?
look at it this way. As far as whatever the awards are and whatever that we
Mm-hmm.
can talk about locally, what around town do y'all think should have been winning awards?
Well, I know I was sitting next to Leo, and I really wanted Galveston Island. They had 5 submitted for it, and I was hoping he got something because that would have been really cool to share that moment
Didn't
with
they
him.
win a gold from Martson last year?
I think they did.
It was,
They
and
won
they,
gold for something.
it was yeah, and it was like. But
He
they,
said he
they
went up there,
renamed
we
it
were
because
talking
it was like, wasn't it like Marchtoberfest or something? They
Yeah.
yeah.
It had a funny name. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
'Cause
an
it was in
interesting
March.
name. Yeah, yeah.
We're going to be doing one with Leo, speaking of Leo, really soon. I
Cool,
Just wanted to-
yeah.
At Galveston Island.
Yeah, he's been doing this for a minute.
He's
Yeah.
had his own podcast.
He was really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known that dude for a decade. He was my Spindle Tap rep 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
God.
That's
Here,
crazy.
you want to? Here, I'll make your back hurt. Remember Tool Pusher?
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
He was also
Dude.
at
That's a great
Backview
beer.
and Running Walker. We were talking about a couple of the places.
Running Walker.
He was at Running Walker
Wow.
before Spindle Tap.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I met him at Crisp, and he came in there as a rep for Running Walker, and then he was a rep for Spindle Tap when I tried to get a job that's when I was first trying to get in the industry. I tried to get a job there, and then about a week later, I found out that John Denman got the job, and I was like, well, I can't be that mad about not getting. Yeah, yeah.
lost
I
out to
can't.
John Denman?
Yeah, I'm like, well, yeah. Can't be
I
mad at
wouldn't
that.
feel bad.
You can't get mad at Denman.
No, dude, that dude, love that guy, man. Yeah, love that dude.
You got to be cool to be on can art.
Yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure, for
Well,
sure.
hey, we're doing it
Forever
right
on
now.
that can, huh?
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Getting there.
Yeah.
All
Getting
right.
there.
That's cool. But yeah, who else do you think should have won awards?
Who should have won awards?
Yeah, like who's been doing better around town?
Did St. Arnold
Like-
win anything? No.
But it also, you have to participate. You know what I mean? You have to enter your stuff.
Loew entered quite a few of them. I saw that. They had a
Okay.
lot of entries.
Cody doesn't really mess with the awards stuff. He
Yeah.
doesn't mess with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Just as
I
a
mean,
brewer.
yeah.
We sent some beers to the Big Texas Beer Festival last year, but that's about what we've done. I
Yeah.
hope we do more in the future.
Yeah, some breweries just don't participate. So St. Arnold could have easily just not,
Yeah.
they don't really need to, you know?
I think they had submitted some.
No, I know they've won awards and stuff, but I'm just saying I don't know if
They
they
might have even
I don't know
won
if they
something.
entered
Did we
this
look
year.
at it? Like I said, my phone's in do not disturb mode, so I
Yeah.
can't pull it out.
But yeah, no, I think I definitely think New Magnolia. I think they're crushing it, especially with the light stuff, their lagers, all that kind of stuff is doing
I
really
100%
well there.
agree. I think
Very,
they're one of the
very
best breweries in Houston.
Very thoughtful. Like you can tell, it's not just the same malt bill and yeast with a different hop.
Shane's a great guy.
Hound Song's another one I like to talk
Hound
about.
Song's really cool.
Their Czech Dark Lager.
Travis?
Oh my God. Yeah. Their
I just
stuff, their
met-
lager program's great.
I just met Nathan, who is their only sales rep. So very similar to Megaton
They're
and
starting to get some
Deca.
beer out here. They're starting to put some.
They're
I'm
putting
starting
some
to see
beer out.
Hound
Dude, that
Song.
guy is he's been a rep before, so he knows what he's doing.
Okay.
And they're self distro, just like us. And man, every time I try a Hound Song beer, I'm like, all right, this is good.
Yeah.
This is really good. They
Very
make good
simple,
beer.
They make
Very,
great beer.
very less is more.
I've only been
Yeah.
there one time, but I had a great experience. It was during the Murky, when I was doing the Murky run, and it took me like an hour and a half to get out there. And I walked in the door, and he's like, "He's here!" He already knew I was coming, and he set me down and talked to me, gave me beer to go, and just really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool experience.
Yeah.
But I want to say about New Magnolia. What was I gonna say? Shane's really cool. I've always had great interactions with Shane. I've known him for a couple years now,
Yeah.
and they are so just one of the greatest breweries in the city. And they have a big beer festival coming up called what is it? Bloom Fest.
Yeah,
Bloom Fest?
it was fun last year.
Well, Case, I know I'm not in it as
Until
Megatron,
they got
but
rained
Casey's
out.
in it as Deca, and I might show up. I think I'm going to be there, at least hanging out and trying some great beer. We got. Who
I'm
else is
excited.
gonna be there? Oh,
I honestly don't know. Let me look it up.
yeah. What's the date? It's the 10th.
Pull it up, Jamie.
Yeah,
I
pull
mean,
it up,
like,
Jamie.
We don't really have beer festivals. It's kind of an important thing.
We
and
have beer
and it's
festivals.
accessible. It feels more accessible to me, I guess.
Yeah.
In the context of that, I can take a lift and it's in a parking lot. I'm not going out of town.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have it here. St. Arnold,
Okay.
Gristworks, No Label, Valencin's, Holler, Frosttown, Project Halo, Elder Sun, Great Heights, Galveston Bay, Foss Brewing, Excalibur Brewing, Turkey Forest, Eureka Heights, and Deca.
That's a great list right
Oh,
there.
Mad Llama's there too. Mad Llama and
Mad
City
Llama.
Orchard.
Yeah.
And City Orchard.
Okay.
They're a local cidery, yeah.
I'm definitely going to be there, maybe representing beer someone in some kind of way.
That's more breweries than I thought.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I'm kind of glad City Orchard's on there. Like, cider matters.
Yeah.
Cider matters, man. Cider's
He's like,
good.
get the cameras, the lights red.
yeah. Hey.
Are you going to be stopping by for Bloomfest?
Huh?
Are you going to be at Bloomfest?
I'm going to try to go.
You going to try to go?
Yeah.
We haven't mentioned the date. It's May 10th.
I said May
Did you
10th.
take? Oh, sorry.
Oh.
My bad.
So
But
this
yeah,
podcast
1 to
should
6.
come out before that, so
Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. That's what's going on.
probably the day before, actually. So maybe
Yeah. I'm excited about this festival.
I'm
Okay.
excited.
Huh.
Yeah, it's not super far from you.
Yeah.
We were talking about you. A really cool, fun fact about you is you were in the Houston
Symphony.
Symphony.
Very, very briefly. I did not enjoy it, so I didn't stay
Really?
there very long. No. So I went to school for, despite people, I'm the beer guy, but I'm a musician. That's primarily what I've done. That's what I do most. That's what I'm doing when I'm not here. I'm playing cello and bass at home.
Fuck yeah.
So I wanted to do that for a living, and I was just, what's the thing of being humbled when you're like the only kid in public school in that class that practices,
Yeah.
and then you pass your audition. I played Haydn's Concerto in C major. It's a great piece. It's fucking hard. It's like the Metallica of that time. But that's the point.
That's
I
cool.
want to get in, and I got in, and I mean, I went from being first chair in a public school to being like third to last in the symphony. That was humbling.
Yeah.
That was humbling, man. That like to the point that when I left out of being unhappy, like I didn't even pick up the cello for 2 years. It was bad, but
Yeah.
I just needed something to do, and so I was 21, and on my 21st birthday, my mom doesn't drink beer anymore. I doesn't agree with her, but she was a Belgian drinker, and she gave me a bomber of Chimay Grand Reserve for my birthday, and my dad gave me a 6-pack of Lone Star. Great juxtaposition right there. Just
No shit, right?
amazing, right? I could not. That's like the first beer I'm ever having, so like I'm absolutely flatlining after that bomber of Chimay.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah, hell yeah.
I just craved. I'd never had anything like that before
Yeah.
in my life, man.
Yeah.
And then I just went on this Belgian kick, and I just worked at Starbucks and odd jobs, man. I wasn't like
You
in
went,
beer
you
yet.
went there, right?
Where?
To Belgium.
Yeah, I got to visit in 2014 and 2015. I got to go around Europe.
There was you. So you went there to drink beer.
Yes. So my mother is a college professor, and there's a company called EF, which is a college tour company. And if she signs up enough people, she gets a free ticket. She would give me the free ticket, and I would just stack my cash. And because I'm not on the tour, I'm just like, bye, and just go and do my thing. So I was really into beer at that point, to the point that I was ready to work with it. I really wanted to work with it. I had been really serious about studying and just trying new things. I at one point had everything that was in the import aisle at Downtown Specs, and that took that's chewy. That takes a while. That takes a while, man. And you know, and sometimes those beers are really old, and then sometimes something rare pops up, and I'm like, oh, I'm never going to have this again, because with the rise of American craft beer, import went down, so we stopped seeing a lot of these really small breweries, particularly Belgian and English breweries. Like the German people, because lager is so cheap on customer side, they're able to just kind of stay alive, but Belgian stuff is really hard and expensive to make. That's why you don't see it much.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your trip?
Well, so the first time that we went, I went to Germany, the UK, and Belgium. I didn't spend as long as I wanted to in Belgium. It was only 4 days. But the real highlights were having things really fresh at the source and having the experience with the culture and having a sense of place and time with that. Because a lot of people's favorite beers are beers that they had while they're on vacation and they're on trips. And you really associate and like romanticize that flavor with that kind of experience. And it was one of the first times that I was having that beer over there, you know, super fresh. The brewery's down the street. That dude, God bless him, he's trying to speak English to me. You know, like we're just trying to communicate at the bar. And then to come...
Were you by yourself?
Traveling, yes. I did not arrive. Like I came with family, I came with the students, but I just kind of, I wouldn't say backpacked it. Like I stayed in the same hotel. I was terrified of doing that alone. I'm not.
Really?
And yeah, like if I was fluent in, I can speak a little bit of German. Like I can have basic conversations. But if I was more fluent, I would have been confident to at least travel Germany alone. It's my favorite part about the Belgian side of things was there is a very, very famous beer bar there called Culminator with a K. And they are rumored to have the largest seller beer list in the world. You could kill someone by hitting. It's like an alcoholic phone book. It's like this big, man. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, and like with dusty, and it's got like that antique store smell that you can't put your finger on, but everyone loves it. It's like an old book, you know. So I went in there, and I had saved so much money going in there because I'm like, I knew they had vintages.
Yeah.
And I knew they're going to be expensive. I'm like, okay, let's.
But you saved up for this particular
I
place.
saved, specifically put aside €1,000 just to go to this bar. I was ready to just completely not spend it all, but I was ready to drop at least
drop some
500,
money,
at least 500,
Wow.
and just take my time because they served food as well. And the Belgian food is very, very rich. It's French food without the pretension.
Okay.
There you go.
I had escargot for the first time over there too.
Really?
Yeah.
If you like mussels, you would totally like escargot. It's not as weird as
you
you
like
think it
it?
is. I loved it.
It's a lot of butter,
I
though,
love
right?
it.
I've
It
never
comes
tried
with,
butter.
it's very rich.
I'd be down
There's
to try.
you
I
like
want to
you,
try anything
you
once.
look at it and it's like a revolver. It's like little like bullet single servings.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's not going to fill me up. And then you're finishing it and you're like, oh my god, like
got
it's
full?
really it's really rich. You don't realize how dense it is, and then by the time you finish it, you had a third a pound of snail, which is the only time that'll ever come out of my mouth.
Right? Yeah.
But,
that is a lot. I mean,
So
it's-
I just had basic stuff, man. I had goulash. Goulash is my favorite thing to eat if that is actually on a menu. I'm a stew guy when,
How was
I'm drinking.
Was it $500 or 500 euros?
Euro.
Euro.
I mean, I'm saying dollars, but I mean euro.
Yeah. How was that?
So let's begin. So the first bottle, my favorite, for the record, my favorite beer of all time is Liefmans Hoedenbond, which you can't get right now. It's a Flemish brown, so it's sweeter and it's a little stronger than a Flanders red.
Okay.
That particular example is an anomaly. It's 8%. The brewmaster, so it was I think the very first female major brewmaster in Belgium, and she started brewing there in 1952. She actually passed away last year in November.
Oh, wow.
So we don't really
Damn.
know what the fate of that brewery is going to be. Yeah,
Yeah.
Madame Leafman was her name.
wow.
So
How,
I got
how
to.
was this? She old?
Sorry.
How old was she?
Oh, I think she was 92.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, and a light. And she lived down the street. She walked to and from work every day to the brewery.
Wow.
Just
And,
so everybody knows, me and Casey, we're sitting on we're kegs right now. Yeah, these are our chairs right here. I'll put it on chairs.
Suckers.
Casey, put it on. Would you put it on?
That's my chair.
That's our chair. It's my fault. Adam told me to bring stools, and I forgot.
I was actually fine until just a second ago, and I'm like,
No,
oh,
I'm starting to feel it a little
my
bit.
ass is starting to hurt.
You got to get it together, man.
I know, right? I remembered all the podcast stuff, though.
But hey,
I
man,
remember
just do
Casey.
6 months.
He did remember me.
Do 6 months Sellerman work and just get calluses here because you're going to be sitting on kegs a lot.
Yeah.
You get used to it. You learn there's a really specific way to sit on a slim
There's a
keg.
spot? There's a sweet spot?
Yeah, there's a sweet spot.
I think it might be dependent on your butt, though, right? Like there's a little bit of a butt variable.
Very butt conscious.
Yeah.
Anyway, the first beer I had, they had Leafmans on the cellar list, and I had a bottle from 78.
Oh, 1978?
1978.
Okay.
It was. The flavor was preserved. It was completely flat at that point.
Really?
And it was bizarre. Like, so we all enjoy
Is
food.
that safe to drink?
Absolutely. No,
Okay.
that's whoopsie.
I hear
Absolutely.
about wine aging. I haven't heard a whole. I mean, unless you're
There
barrel
is
aging, but
there is a sweet spot.
Okay.
And that's the thing is that I have to really I try to remind people, especially when they're getting into this and they're new to this, is that older, and just like whiskey, older does not mean better.
Right.
You can have a preference for an age statement. Like I have a tendency to prefer beer to be pretty bright unless it's sour. So like if I had a choice and I have like a bunch of Chimets in front of me, and they're 15 years. Each one's 15 years. I'm probably gonna just comfort zone. I'm gonna sit at like 4 or 5 because it at least still resembles the experience in my head.
Yeah.
If I'm having something older, then I'm like really gonna like come at this with a different angle.
Right.
Which is exactly what happened with that Leafmans. It was like drinking a barley wine. It was like leathery and tobacco and like that really signature cherry note is just dried and it's not sour anymore. And it was so unapologetically malty. Like if you didn't know that it was a sour, you would have thought it was a Belgian brown ale.
wow.
Yeah.
Just brown ale.
Yeah.
So that was fucking expensive.
You know
that
what?
was
I
like
think it might have been
140
English
euro
brown ale,
Yeah.
that hopadillo.
and a whole bottle. That's at 8%. That was so I chewed through
okay.
that. Yeah,
And it was good.
with food.
You
It
liked
was
it.
good. Did
Yeah.
not upset my stomach like you think it would. The second beer I had was a Chimay. I had a Grand Reserve, and it was only 10. It was 10 years old, and that's how I know that I don't like older Chimay. And that's a bottle by bottle case. You know, they don't wax the caps, so
Yeah.
it's totally subject to different
Right.
factors. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, man, okay. And at that point, one of the owners comes up, and he's like, "Do you want to try anything peculiar?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna have one more though. I'm gonna have one more." And the third beer I had was not a vintage. I had a quack, which is I used to pronounce because quack. And I got talked to very sternly in Belgium, so I know that it is pronounced quack.
You fucking American.
It's the one that comes in the really peculiar glass, where it's like an hourglass, and it has the wooden handle, which has a really fucking cool story behind it.
Right on.
So I had that, and if anyone listening ever goes to Culminator, and this is a while ago, and the owners were really old. It's a couple. I really hope that they're still running it, and if they have passed, I hope that someone in the family is still running it.
How long ago did you go? How long was
This is 10 years now.
Okay.
This is over 10 years now. Yeah.
Okay.
And
You wanna go back?
Hazy. Oh yeah. Oh, I would. Yeah, I plan on in the future. I plan on dying in Europe.
Is there
At
any
some
oth-
point, I'm going to move there.
How many countries have you gone and tried different beers?
So, UK, just the UK. So like not Ireland, not Scotland, just just England.
Okay.
Germany, Belgium, Spain,
okay.
Italy,
Wow.
Czech Republic.
Wow.
Czech Republic is my favorite.
So, you like craft beer, but you also like international beer, imports.
European beer is still craft beer.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm sorry.
100%.
Local craft beer, but yes,
Yeah.
yes.
If it is made independently and it's not going into the pockets of some bigwigs, cigar chomping suit
Do you
dudes,
sell a lot of imports here?
that yes, that's definitely on the local side of what we sell. Package is going to be really IPA heavy, but draft wise, we sell a lot of Belgian beer. We have 2 almost basically dedicated Belgian taps for light and for dark.
Okay.
Are most of your clientele just people that live close by, or do you have people that actually come
It's
a long
dads
way.
that walk here.
Yeah. Yeah.
With their dog, you know, after work, and
No,
it's
Premium Draft's great. There's always somebody in here, and the conversation is always beer.
Yeah.
I also want to point out you have the best coffee shop in Houston right next to you.
right next door.
Yeah.
Antidote.
Antidote. Yep.
They're there for you.
I'm a big fan of the cold brew. I get it every Tuesday.
Yeah, I have had their coffee, and it's very good.
Really great coffee.
Yeah.
I bet you get it every day, right?
It depends though.
I'm wearing an
'cause
Antidote shirt right now, by the way. I just want
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, wait. Oh, I clicked on all the
Yeah.
wrong cameras.
Just don't park in their spots.
yeah. They'll come say
they're
something.
very strict about it. Yes.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of this one time. That's okay. I was in their
Yeah.
spot.
You'll get a finger wagging. Don't do it,
Yeah,
man.
I
Don't do
moved.
it.
I was out. I was like, I'm leaving.
It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
No,
They're just running a business.
No,
That's
I
okay.
get. There's only how many parking spots? 4. Right
For
here,
real?
just
Yeah.
right here, and then there's more than 4, but just in this there's 1, 2.
Well, it's more of a to-go beer spot for sure. You could sit here and have a drink. There's people here.
There,
having
you
a
can
drink.
park right here too, against the where this little grassy area is in the middle. You could park there too. So yeah, there's not a ton of parking, but yeah, you're right. It's more of a bottle shop. Come and grab and go.
The thing that a lot of people don't know is that when the shop was initially opened, you weren't able to have a beer here. It was
Yeah?
very strictly just to go.
Yeah.
The actual bar, in physical and in concept, is not that old. I think it got built in 2021
Okay.
or 2020 during COVID. During COVID for sure. No, it used to be just
Just a
to
bottle
go,
shop.
and it's been really interesting to be a part of, you know, the pub evolving into what it is.
You also sell kegs from breweries.
You can buy kegs
or
here,
rent
man.
kegs.
Yeah, you can absolutely.
You
do
can
that,
rent a
yeah.
whole kegerator.
And you can get CO2 here, especially if you have a keg.
Really?
Yeah, if you have it. Yes, sir.
If you order
That's
enough,
that's a
you'll
very
deliver
large
too,
chunk of
right?
our business.
That's
If
awesome.
you order enough, is there like a price point for delivery? I know you do a little bit of delivering.
We do. That's a Johnny question,
Okay.
actually.
I just wanna point
I
out-
just don't usually handle the semantics of things that
I
aren't
know
in the
that
store
one
'cause
time I
don't
came in
drive.
here and there was a business that ordered like a couple things, and Johnny was like, "Yeah, they ordered enough. I'm delivering."
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And
You
not
do that,
everybody
yeah.
knows how to set up a kegerator. I think that's probably part of it.
It's not hard. They're universal.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a kegerator. You have a kegerator?
I don't have one. No.
You know?
My downstairs refrigerator has a hole in the back
Oh yeah.
in case I want to get it set up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's never
thought
hard,
about
and
it.
for anybody
Oh, I've
that
definitely- I've
is
got
that
the-
is interested in having a kegerator, because and I get it. You know, it's a lot of moving parts.
Mm-hmm.
You're working with things under pressure. If things are catastrophic, that can kind of approach with caution, kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. But I tell people that like kegerators and everything that moves together, it's carbonated Legos.
Yeah.
It's way simpler than you really think it is.
For sure.
It's just that the tools that are used for beer equipment are really specific. But I mean,
I
like,
love
if you're-
carbonated Legos. That's
like
great.
I tell people, if you can do basic maintenance on your car, you will never ever run into issues with a kegerator.
Yeah.
It's very very basic.
You know what? Yes, and when I first started in the beer industry, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing with the kegerator. I have one, by the way, now, but the last couple years, after doing so many beer festivals, I've gotten better and better and better.
Yeah.
I'm an electronic guy. I'm a tech guy, so that's kind of like electronic Legos. I love bringing Legos in the conversation.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love Legos.
Yeah, we know you love Legos.
Dude, Legos are expensive,
They
man.
are expensive.
Yeah, they are.
Like holy, like
Where's the brewery Lego set? I would buy that.
a
Yeah,
brewery
that'd be
Lego
nice.
set.
Yeah.
My first cold crash.
I want to
Lego,
build
Lego
a,
kit.
You know, people are always making their own Legos.
I'd buy it.
It'd be really cool to make like a St. Arnold out of Legos.
That'd
Yeah.
be funny.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
neat.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
So, for anyone listening that has made like the older clientele that remembers Rudyard's way back, there used to be a Lego display that someone custom made of
Rudyard's?
Rudyard's as a Lego set. And I don't remember where I saw it, and I want to
That's
say I
pretty
saw
cool.
it at Rudd's. No, someone did the main tap room at St. Arnold, the old one, like before
Oh,
the
really?
renovation in Legos. And I
Okay.
can't remember where I saw
That's
it.
awesome.
But it was awesome. And we're talking like over 10 years ago,
Yeah.
in the haze of many beers ago.
I went to the old tap room. I remember it.
Who's ready for a beer?
Ooh, I
I'm
could
ready for a
use
beer.
Ready for a beer.
Adam, you wanted to. You had some beers picked out, correct?
Yes.
Do you
Do
wanna
we
wait
want
on
well, I mean, and again, nothing's like high ABV. Do we want Do you want a side pull or do you want a saison?
Dealer's choice. That's where I'm at.
Have y'all ever had a pint pulled from a side pull?
I have, but not here.
I'm
Ooh,
not
that's
sure.
what,
Probably.
That's
I
what
don't
we're
know.
doing.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Okay, let's do it.
But doesn't that take like 10 minutes?
Oh no, sir. I'm going to be doing this in 1 minute.
Oh,
Okay. Well, I'm gonna
the
talk to
1 minute
Casey.
side pull, ladies and gentlemen. You
We'll
heard
talk
it
to
here.
Casey. So I got to go to music bingo last night at Backview for the first time.
Yeah, you did.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm glad you came.
And I totally was cheating the entire time because
As you're supposed to.
I tried to do it at first without Shazam, and I'm like 2 songs in, I'm like, oh, I have no idea.
You know the song, but you don't know for sure who the artist is, or like
Yeah.
I get it. Like I tell people all the time, just cheat. It helps you just stay in the game.
I had Chris from Backview helping me. Was Chris's last name Martin?
Chris Martin,
Chris Martin.
just like the singer.
Yeah. Shout out to Chris Martin.
Yeah.
Great guy. And
Yeah.
honestly, I love Backview. If you don't know, I used to work at Backview, so any chance I have to go up there, it still feels like one of my home breweries. It's in my top 5, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I love Backview. So
Yeah, man. No, it was fun last night. We do music bingo there every first Thursday of the month.
every
So,
first Thursday.
yeah.
And we advertise that every podcast.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
where else are you doing music bingo?
Still City Acre every 4th Thursday of the month.
Okay.
And then occasionally at Equal Parts. But that's just kind of random every other month or so.
Anywhere else?
I have one coming up at the Cove. We haven't decided a date yet, but the Cove.
Cove
I'm
yesterday.
gonna be doing one at the Cove. I figured I kind of want to start trying to sprawl out, but
Yeah.
locally, like where I live.
Okay.
Try to keep it. I do have one scheduled. Let me look at the date. It's at Saloon Door West.
You booked one after the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. That's great.
I have a date. I just need to find it.
You talked to Final Gravity about
May
doing it?
30th.
May 30th at Saloon Door West.
Yeah.
Anybody watching? I know you talked to Ted at Final Gravity that's opening up soon.
Yeah. Final Gravity over on 1314 will be opening up very, very, very soon.
Very soon.
And I'm very excited to go hang out and try the beers. I've already tried some of the beers
They're-
in Ted's garage.
Ted's
Oh,
amazing.
shit. That's
Have-
intimate.
Have you heard of Final Gravity yet?
No, I haven't.
So it's a new brewery. It's my friend Ted. What's Ted's last name? It's
Doherty.
Ted Doherty. It's opening off 1314 in Porter. It's right across from that food park they have, and
Food Zone.
Food Zone. He's a really cool dude. He's a 20-year police officer, Army veteran, kite shop enthusiast. I don't know. He's done a lot of things, but most importantly, he's been brewing beer out of his garage for the last couple years. He's also
Okay.
done a lot of work with Megaton. But he's a regular at Megaton, Backview, and Deca.
Yeah, he's a Mud Club member at Deca.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can't wait to see what he does. I'm really excited.
Yeah,
for
we're all very excited, and I'm finding out when I go out in the field when I'm going out working, whether I'm talking to beer reps from other breweries or talking to people like Addam that are just beer buyers at beer establishments. No one knows. No one knows about Final Gravity. Like
But
they're just like, wait, there's
yeah.
another brewery on the north side. I'm like, yeah. So
There's
it's
so many, man. There's
but
so many.
but on our side of town, there's only Backpew, Megaton,
Oh, up
and
there.
Deca.
Okay.
So now there's going to be a fourth in our little little box.
It's exciting because I know we do have some North Houston listeners. And,
Yeah.
It's just a couple weeks, I think, from opening. We'll only be doing a podcast at Final Gravity.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm very excited about it. So yeah, I'm
And
looking
we need
forward
to get
to
you
it.
out there, Adam.
I
You
know
check
at
it
some point. I know.
Yeah.
Well, I think the grand opening and true veteran police officer faction is going to be July 4th. So I
Really?
know, yeah,
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
we'd like to do a podcast before, but
Yeah.
I would love to have you as a guest out there as
Okay.
mine, if you can.
Yeah, man.
How do you feel about that, buddy? It's like milk.
good?
It's
Yeah.
You understand why I don't shut up about it now.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's just a pilsner, man. You can run anything through a side pull, anything. You can even ask my coworker Mason over there. So I had a slim keg of Easy 7 at my house with the Lucre faucet,
Slimmy 7?
and he was like, "You just ruined this beer for me."
Right.
It
You got
Seven's
yourself
good.
one too?
so for sorry.
Is that what
yeah,
you're drinking?
yeah, we got the same thing.
Well, cheers.
Nazdra V, bitch, pick up your mug.
Fuck.
Not Zdravie. Put,
got a burrito in my hand.
Put the sandwich
Casey's
down.
trying
There
to
we go.
eat while he's doing the podcast.
Yeah, I didn't eat a lot today, so I'm trying to. I knew I was gonna be doing some drinking.
We're doing some, so it's probably smart that he's eating right now.
And we are drinking Hans Pills
Hans
as
Bill.
well.
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hans Beals.
I feel like it's not as hoppy as it used to be.
But isn't that kind of what the side pull does?
No, it can kind of, it'll pull out the sweetness, and usually it exaggerates the hop aroma. So for people that are listening, what a Lucre faucet does, they're designed in the Czech Republic, and it pours the best way without being a fucking nerd and going through the physics of it.
Please be nerdy.
It pours beer 1 hour later. I'll be like, dude, that guy just fucking killed me. He killed my wife. Find that guy. It pours beer like a cappuccino. It is knocking CO2 out of solution as you pour it, and it's for people. Most taps are plunger valves. It's an on-off switch. That has a ball valve. It's like a dimmer switch for beer, and I have a lot more control, like almost in like a cocktail way, over how it's poured. And depending on how I pour it in different stages, I can change the way that beer tastes.
Does this have
That's
So
what's
true.
so
Is this-
exciting to me. Yeah.
Is this? It has a mesh.
There's
piece,
a very
right?
small screen at the very end of the piece called the elbow on the very tip, and when you pour it, when you just open it, so like 0 to 90, and because it goes both ways. It's just whether you're right or left-handed.
Right, yeah.
But when you're below 15, like just barely open, it's only foam.
Foam, yeah.
And it just collects and it collects and it collects, and it's like dense, and it's wet, and it's sweet, and it lasts forever. It's physics.
Yeah.
And it's just super cool.
Yeah.
So if you want a better pour experience, maybe it's at Premium
Well-
Draught.
Yes.
It's. I would say, personally, I find it debatable whether or not it's better.
For sure.
It's subjective.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it essentially does flatten the beer some.
It just makes me think about how if you go to McDonald's, the soda tastes.
Oh yeah, out of the fountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree
for
with
some
you.
reason,
Or at certain places,
I don't know
yeah.
why that is.
There's
but
there's different ways to pour it. So I think flattening is kind of severity. I think that, but
Right.
what I will say is that the foam, and when I'm pouring it in a way that it's doing that, and I'm submerging the faucet, and it
Right.
pours the beer under, but when you fully open it, it's not knocking the CO2 out.
Yeah.
It's just the foam.
This
It's-
is the
it's
only
it's preserving the carbonation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's just how I've always kind of looked at it, because you are kind of stirring it up in a sense. Like you're aggravating you're getting all the
just
the,
for
the
making
carbonation.
keep getting that head going.
sure.
You know.
But I remember reading about it because we had one installed at Ingenious, and it was my first
Oh.
experience with it. And because James was really into doing lagers, and we were starting to do more lagers,
Yeah.
so we're like,
Yeah.
let's do this slow. We were doing slow pours though. That was the whole idea. So we got this side pull, but it was a very basic one. But I remember telling everybody, I'm like, yeah, you literally put the beer, you put the spout in the beer, which is very un-American. It's a very European thing, from what I.
And there's a
what I
whole
read.
sanitation thing. Like I totally want to dispel that myth about it not being sanitary. And I personally run a very, very strict sanitary thing. Like
Right.
after every beer, it is rinsed and sanitized, just
Yeah.
like they do in the Czech Republic.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
And that's the idea. I first experienced this over there in the Czech Republic. I went down and I went on like the Pilsner Urquell tour, and they take you into and it's one of the very few giant made, all around the world beers that is still fermented in wood vessels. There is just some kind of magic with wood, man.
That beer is
It just-
delicious.
It's the fucking best, but you have to have it fresh.
Yeah, you're
Um,
right.
So I think it's
what can you get here at Premium Draught that you can't get anywhere else?
Well, definitely, I think it falls into two categories. So the first category and the most obvious category is that I really, like with IPAs, and I don't like the term, but hype beer. Like I really do my best, especially on the hazy side of things, because there's not really hype when it's not hazy. It's just a good IPA. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
I do my best to grab that stuff. I do really want to, and it's nothing against the people that make the beer or the people that like it. I do want to advertise kind of a buyer's beware, especially when it comes to certain beers like the Veil. had this problem where they were basically dumping old product into the market, and people were really excited, as they should be, to get to try these things that they've heard about, and then they get it and it's 5 months old. I'm like, brother, it's a hazy. They're very fragile to heat, and they have like a 45-day shelf life.
I wonder that when since Casey's here, it's a good way to talk about it.
Yeah.
When I see Ingenious beer being put on tap, because I still, like, every once in a while, somebody...
They're all vintages, and at some point they will stop, being around. But I'm very surprised at what I hear about. I hear about a lot of the Halloween stuff. The Halloween stuff, because the Halloween stuff was good.
Social Beer Garden bought a lot of the beer at the end, so they're still putting things on tap every
I think he has like one left maybe, but I know Pitch 25 has a few.
Okay.
Really?
They have stouts.
They have
though.
okay.
They have they have the Brewers Reserve, which they haven't tapped yet, and I know that they have the Irish Stout, which was a barrel aged Irish Stout that was untypically sweet for us. It was actually a little bit dry. It was still sweet, but it was had that dry Irish Stout vibe to it as well. So it wasn't as sweet as what we
have some darker stuff from Ingenious at the brewery as well at Megaton.
Megaton?
Yeah, maybe a keg or two left. We bought a bunch whenever it was closing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Ooh, I have a question for y'all.
Okay.
I wanted to say a while ago, though, we were talking about the side pool.
Yeah.
I wanted to throw this out there. The only other brewery I know of in town that has it is Equal Parts.
Right.
I'm sure there are other breweries that have a Lucre side pool.
Yeah, it just might not be advertised.
I just don't know of any of those.
No, it's really
Eureka.
great.
So St. Arnold has one.
Okay.
Eureka Heights has one. New Magnolia has 2 of them.
I was going to say New Magnolia probably has one.
I
have 2.
I may or may not have, after a few beers at the brewery, told Shane about it and talked him into getting it.
Oh, yeah?
May or may not. And that many beers, I very distinctly remember like talking to him about it, but I'm just really, really glad that I got to tell him about something that I thought was fucking awesome and cool, and then they buy it, and the customer reception he tells me is just glowing.
Yeah.
So it's a really fun experience. Like my coworker Mason has he says something where he's like, it's like capturing that almost childlike wonder of having something you've never had before for the first time, which is what this does.
It's kind of what I'm feeling right now.
And it's kind of how I felt about Cask, but Cask isn't as good as this. Cask is okay, I guess.
The benefit
We're
beer.
going to drink some good beer today.
Hell yeah.
The benefit is that beer by beer, because it's knocking some of that CO2 out, you're not going to be as bloated.
What breweries can, and let me ask you a question a second ago. Do you find yourself at New Magnolia probably more often than any other brewery? Because you live
not
near
in
the
the. I go to you know what? I go to Holler.
You go to Holler?
Yeah, I go to Holler. Yeah,
Mitch did our artwork
I
for
actually
Holler,
submitted an application to be a piece of furniture over there because I'm always over there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Holler's actually the first brewery I ever interviewed at.
Really?
Yeah, I did interview as a rep. I didn't take it. It was a great interview, but I didn't take it because it was part-time only. And
right.
I have a family. I needed it full-time.
Yeah, Holler definitely has my vote as being like my favorite brewery, not just in a like clinical, like professional palate way, but just like they've always in things that are not necessarily
brewery,
in their
Holler?
control. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, love Holler.
And I wanted to ask, what breweries in Houston can you find on tap traditionally here? Like what brewery?
Oh, here?
Yes. A lot. I know.
So there's definitely. I try by the nature of the rotation and not letting things stale. I really try not to criticism because I think part of being a good beer buyer is that a lot of people kind of use it as a fingerprint, and then when you've been doing it long enough, you're like, yo, this is not about me. I have to buy things that kind of sell. But it's okay to have certain entities and breweries where you're like, okay, I trust the quality. Like, they don't usually send me bad kegs. They have cool ideas. Affordability is a huge thing.
For sure.
And when it comes to just checking certain boxes, there's like a handful of breweries that I really, really trust with consistency.
I know you always have great heights on tap, for sure.
They don't miss. I mean, they don't.
No, they're great.
I almost mentioned them earlier when we were talking about some of the breweries that
Yeah.
I think
You
are
always
making
have
great stuff.
heights, for sure. You always have Backview, right?
Backview is solid. Bobby makes good lagers.
Deca's been on tap here many, many times.
Yep.
Is Deca always on tap?
Y'all have come a long way. The beer is so good now.
Yeah.
Like really.
Yeah, I agree.
Particularly and for stuff that a lot of people don't do very well, like for y'all to have like an amber and a brown ale is basically a flagship. Is
Right.
so ballsy, dude.
Yeah.
Like the world needs more brown ales.
Yeah.
I'm so serious.
We've had a couple things on tap here.
Our
We do
uncles
bunker
are
buster.
The brown ale
suffering.
does great. I
Bring
will
back
say that
brown ale.
when it goes on tap, it's a brown ale, so it's not going to move as fast as
Yeah.
the IPAs or the
For
lagers.
sure.
But it's great that we have it year round, and I have some dedicated accounts that are. This is our brown ale. We always
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
They have to have a
I don't know
brown.
if I've had your
Yeah.
brown ale. I'll have to
It's
try.
really good. Derby Hat Brown Ale is really good. And tomorrow, well, it won't matter. This is coming out next week.
Yeah.
But tomorrow it's going to be $5 for the Kentucky
Oh, yeah?
Derby. Kentucky
Oh, y'all
Derby's
are doing
tomorrow.
that? Okay.
Yeah.
I was at Heights Biergarten and they were doing this whole Kentucky Derby thing, and I was like, "Is the
It's-
Kentucky Derby that big of a deal?" And
It-
apparently it is.
It's just another thing
dude,
to.
outside of Lights in the Heights, that is when that bar makes the most money.
Really.
It is a fucking serious thing at that bar. I'm so serious. Yeah.
It's 'cause-
Just go and people watch.
Okay.
Just go and people watch. It gets busy.
I'm not because I
gets
have no
busy.
interest in watching horse. I might put some money on it because I got some.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll make it fun.
That makes it more interesting
It does,
for sure.
for sure.
I didn't want to go away from what we were talking about. I want to say, by the way, I had the cobblestone lager yesterday at the Cove from Deca.
Yeah.
That's the best beer I've had from y'all.
Out fucking standing.
So that's the beer that took over the other one that we were talking about, the Czech that we did that we were
It's
talking
solid.
about earlier.
It's minerally. It's
Yeah.
loud.
Yeah.
It's rounded. It's not. It's. Thank you for. Just
not heavy?
Thank you that it's just not a fucking hot bomb, dude.
Yeah.
It's
Like
for a while I thought Lotteria was our best lager, but since Cody's been doing Cobblestone, I'm like, it's my jam.
okay. So
It's really good.
it's very scrubbing, like just the right amount of carbonation.
And there's just a little bit of a hop bite to it. It's a German lager, so it's got a little bit of that hoppy heft to it, but it's
I love what
it's
y'all
really
are
good.
doing with traditional stuff.
I call that it's a crispy boy for sure.
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's crispy.
And I would say Megaton, we do feature Bunker Buster occasionally here and a couple other beers. We've
Yeah.
done Rocket Launcher here. The Roger
Y'all do
Clemens-
dark beer very well.
Thank you. What was it?
I want to tell a secret that I heard.
Oh.
Or I didn't hear it. I saw it. I was in the brewery and I saw it.
At Megaton?
Yeah, there was a brown
Yeah,
ale.
Casey's,
There's a
yeah.
brown ale in the tank.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I said I'm
Maybe
getting away from the microphone.
Maybe
like
there
it-
will be a
like it-
comeback.
Don't tell anybody.
We're making some changes at Megaton. Megaton's
It's a
about to
brown
start
ale in
making
the
some
tank.
lagers,
Good.
and I'm really excited about that. I was telling Casey, I don't know if I should be saying that on the podcast. I'm gonna fucking do it, but
Fuck it.
fuck it. We are gonna be making some different styles moving forward.
Cool.
I'm excited about the future of Megaton.
I'm excited too, man. I am too.
Alt beer.
So what other
Alt beer.
what other breweries can we find here? We said
There's some ones that you can definitely expect.
Brash.
Like-
Is Brash here often?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You a lot of the Heights breweries, New Magnolia. We've been talking about New Magnolia. a lot.
New Mag, not the just the catalog of what's available in the
Yeah.
market is a little small. I definitely have an affinity for their taproom only stuff. Like Shane, if you're listening, I want my goddamn Heritage. That's the best. That's their Pilsner. That's the double decoction, like no cutting corners. That is the best Pilsner in the city.
Yeah.
Word.
I'll fucking die on that hill. That is
Okay.
and not even just that it's well made. There is something to be said about good recipes, which any brewers listening, don't be afraid to revisit your recipe. There is
Right.
they're the only thing that you can do to improve once you have the actual process down is what can we do with the recipe? How can we make that better?
Right. I agree, but always keep those old recipes. Don't lose them.
You
Yeah.
never know. You never
Write
know.
them down.
It's
Yeah.
like
Don't lose the old
it's,
recipe.
You know, it's like saving a copy on Word.
Yeah.
And then your computer dies. There's nothing wrong in going back. I mean, I think every company learned that by looking at Coca-Cola with New Coke in the 80s.
Yeah.
Dude, that was on shelves for 8 months, and they're like, no, we're going back.
I missed that. I'm 89, but what brewery never leaves the tap? What brewery do you always have on tap?
Okay.
You're not hurting
There
anybody's
are-
feelings.
There are 3.
Okay.
Great Heights.
Great Heights.
They have the variety.
They
It
know-
just-
they
just
make
ca- it
great
just-
beer, and
it
I
just
always
happens.
see them on
Yeah.
tap. Yeah, for sure.
Real Ale.
Real ale, okay.
Okay.
I really Real Ale just hits it out of the park, dude. They're one of those older breweries that just never really compromised, and they don't chase trends. And I have so much respect for that.
From what I remember, their price points are pretty
dude.
reasonable.
Yeah. Nothing outlandish unless it's like, not even outlandish, just like, so, for example, I have a quarter barrel of their anniversary hazy called Crush Puppy in my cooler right now. It's not on the wall. I know
Crush
it's a
Puppy?
great name.
That's
it's
an
a, it's a
awesome
great,
name.
It's a great name, Crush Puppy. But, that's was not arduous in price. That, it's fine.
Yeah.
And the third one is probably going to really surprise anyone that that
So
listens.
it's a hazy, though. Hazies can be expensive to make.
They are very expensive to make usually.
Yeah, so that makes
very.
sense.
What's the third one?
Walking Stick.
I'm very surprised by that. But they are Heights. They are local.
They have come farther in quality than any other brewery.
It's been a while
in town.
since I've been.
All right. I'm going to hear you out
But
because
here's the thing. If you judge a brewery based on their IPA, you're going to hate a lot of breweries, dude. Walking Stick focuses on traditional English ales, and there is no one besides Holler and sometimes New Mag that's doing that. And I think that's really important historically. It's really important to have that selection for people, and because a lot of those traditional beers that our parents drank were English, and there has to be something for people that are over the age of 35, bro. Like, seriously.
For sure. Moving
Their
forward.
porter is their best beer.
Can I say what I think Walking Stick has going for it more than any other brewery in Houston? And I want to say the atmosphere. You go in there.
It's
that
a beautiful
place
tap
is
room.
beautiful.
it is.
Yeah.
I haven't been there. I've been to Walking Stick twice. I haven't been there in a while. Maybe I owe it a revisit.
Also, last year at Texas Beer Awards, their Pilsner
Really?
won silver.
Do you know?
Pilsner Rezhov got gold, but their Pilsner got silver.
I'm going to take your word for it because I trust you.
I do too, and so that's why I definitely want to go
Please
revisit. It's been a while.
Please revisit it. Yeah.
But
And
there's
we don't
there's
have any
a
hate towards Walking Stick.
it's a couple that owns it, right? Is it a
so.
couple?
Yeah.
Did it
'Cause
change
I think the
owners?
wife
It's
is the
not
one
bad.
who's
Yeah.
decorated the place.
Very, yes, and the very long bearded gentleman.
Because it's
is the
decorated like
owner.
I don't want to say Martha Stewart sounds like I'm talking shit,
His-
and I'm not.
his
It's just
wife-
very
It's beautiful.
it's really nice, like
his-
nicely
his-
done.
Nice.
His wife has a green thumb, and he is not afraid to showcase that in the tap room.
That I said this to my wife when we were there. I was like, "There's not a dead flower in the
By the
place.
way, just so you know,
There's a
it's
lot
right
of flowers."
across the street from Crowbar and Greater Heights. So
It is
But yeah.
directly across the street. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no,
right there. You can
not
walk
a
the-
not a dead flower in the place.
But yeah, I really respect people that do things in a traditional way. There's nothing wrong with experimenting, but look at it. Let me make an analogy. There's a lot of visual artists that are really good at this one. If you don't learn the fundamentals, you're not going to be good at anything. You have to put yourself in a space to grow, especially as an artist. And the allegory is that I look at brewing 100% as an art form. It's organic chemistry if you really get down to it.
Yeah,
And
it is.
I think it is profoundly unfair to judge a brewery right at open because no casual customer, only the industry
no
people,
judgment here.
only the industry people can really know just like everything that they've been through before the first day that they're open.
There's some good people for Walking Stick, for sure. What's the rep's name at Walking Stick? It's slipping my mind. Oh no.
There's so many.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to remember his name.
I usually just
Is it
I
another
usually just
Alex?
Is it Alex?
think so.
I don't.
Yeah.
I usually just
Yeah?
text Andy. I just
Redhead?
text the owner. The short guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't say. You just said that in mine.
Wait a
Very,
second. He's
very,
that's
very
right. It
good.
is Alex. He's
Yeah.
I keep thinking I connect him to Senate.
Yeah.
His brother. Yeah.
That's
I
his
can't
brother,
remember
yeah.
where he worked previously.
Yeah, that's where it's
That's
Alex.
right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
It's Alex. Yeah.
Alex? Okay.
Yeah.
No, he's
Cool dude.
Really cool people. And it's not that I dislike Walking Stick. I just want to state that I have no problem with Walking Stick. It's just not one of the breweries that I often go to.
They are the underdog brewery here to me.
I'll go ahead and say something really quick about it because I've been, as I follow a lot of the breweries here in Houston,
Yeah.
and I follow a lot of people's opinions as far as like I'm in the Facebook groups and all that.
Yeah.
I'm very, I'm not active, but I definitely I like and I guess I mainly just like a lot of the posts,
Okay.
but I like to read what people's thoughts are about on a lot of the breweries, and I will say that Walking Stick has gotten a reputation for not having the best beer in town. But that being said, like I've always said, and I think you would agree, is you always want to see these breweries, even if they don't make great beer right off the bat, you want to see them get to a point where they're like, we want to improve our product.
Making IPAs is not their focus. It's just for. I'm
and
not.
The market's moving away from.
And they do two hazies. They do a normal one that's a single hop smash with Simcoe, and they do one called Peaches Long, which is with. It's not even that peachy, but it's got peach in it.
I've had the peach one, and it's not super peachy, and I thought it was good. I enjoyed it.
When I'm raving about the beer they make that's not an IPA, and then a lot of people don't like their IPAs, this isn't a brewing issue. This is a recipe issue. This is circling back to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's just not what they're focusing on, and that's okay. So if you're listening and you like traditional, if you just want a malty boy, or you want like a straight ahead like porter, which is probably their best beer besides their Pilsner.
What's it called?
That's what I really.
You know,
with the brown ale or the Pilsner?
Porter.
The porter is called Massive.
Okay.
And the Pilsner is called Pike's Peak.
Nice.
Because they all have like mountain references.
You know what? It's been a while since I've been to Walking Stick. I'm going to be going very soon to Walking Stick because of what you said here today.
I do a flight to the UK. That's what I call it. I just do all the English beers.
You should not judge a brewery by one experience.
You definitely shouldn't. Yeah.
Or them in their early time. You should go back and give them another chance because people change, breweries change, everything changes.
Right. Yeah. I always think when a brewery first opens, I'm like, if they're coming out of the gate just swinging hard and they've got some great beer, I'm like, oh wow, this is gonna be great. But if they come out of the gate, and their beers are a little lackluster, my immediate thought is like, everybody has growing pains. It takes time to kind of get to that point to where your beers are where you want them to be.
You go at it subjectively, like a lot of casual drinkers, and I just say casual in the context of that they don't work with it, so they're not under any incentivization.
You got any Walking Stick here today?
Yes. Well. So I have the single hop Simcoe in cans. I have their blonde ale, and I have no more of their saison. They make a saison too.
Can we try something from them?
Sure. You want to grab
a can? You
want me to grab a can of like do you want the blonde ale or the IPA?
We could split a can.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You said they're not known for their IPAs, so whatever you want to do.
You're
so if you're going to be good at English beer, that means that your malt is on point. I think the blonde ale is going to showcase that.
Okay.
So let me get a can of the blonde ale.
Down.
That sounds great.
Yeah. No, and it just to kind of back up what I was saying, like I have heard things, I've not heard, but I've read things on those groups of people. They just either they're not talked about, whatever people are talking about, like the best beers in town or whatever, and then I have seen some negative feedback about their beers.
Been out there. I've been seeing more and more of them, and a lot of changes. And I think it's due for me to go back.
I think it's time. Yeah, it's time now. I think, and to Addam's point, man, like
by the way, we'd love to do a podcast eventually.
Absolutely, yeah.
Sure.
I think so too. I think that would be great because that's the whole point, man. You don't want to see a brewery, even if they're struggling a little bit. Like,
and we're not saying they're struggling.
No, we're not. I'm not saying that at all. I think but there is, if I want to be honest, like I've seen things on these groups of some murmurings of people's thoughts and opinions about it, and my thing is like I've only been once, so I have and I will say this, I'll die on this hill too. I never judge a brewery by one visit, so I'm like, well, I don't know. And the beer I had was that peach IPA. I enjoyed it. I told people that. I'm like, I enjoyed what I tried there. Yeah. It was a peach IPA. I didn't know that was something they did.
It's not even super peachy.
It's not super peachy.
It's beer first, peach second.
And that's, I think, was my worry, was that it was going to be super peachy, and it wasn't. It was definitely just a subtle peach. It was delicious.
Wait, let me put it on the camera.
Oh, you're good.
There you go ahead.
To that one?
Yes, sir.
This Beer Stop Blonde from Walking Stick. It's just a very simple, less is more, like really, really not even hoppy at all. But I find it to not be one note. I think there's just a little bit more going on. And that's the problem with that style, is that the connotation is that it's beer that makes you go, yup.
Yeah.
But if you want that, go get an American Pale Lager. Go get something adjuncted.
Yeah.
Like, we can have something that you can chew on a little bit, right?
Right.
No, this is cool. I like that we're doing this. While we're trying this, I'm going to ask you another question.
What's up?
And so you have time to think about it, because I think we've been going a while, and I want to get to a break. But first, I want to ask you top 5 breweries in Houston.
Top 5?
Yeah, top 5. You said your number one was
subjectively, because
it's not necessarily in order. This list that we're doing right now, but you did state your number one was.
My personal number one is Holler.
Holler, okay.
who I think is making the best beer in town is True Anomaly.
True Anomaly. Okay. It's
Like
hard to argue with right now.
accolades. Like fuck your fucking opinion.
Cheers, by the
They
way.
are award winning. You know,
Yeah,
like
it's
they
true. So,
you know.
We're saying Holler. And you're also saying True Anomalies. You're also on your list, the top 5.
Yeah. It's malty. Like you can chew on it.
I can. I feel like it's a granola bar.
That's why I like it.
It's actually really great.
It's just
It's a blonde ale.
that's a blonde ale, man. Yeah.
Wow.
If
What do
you,
you think?
if you didn't see the color and you showed it to someone, they'd probably think it was an amber. I'm so serious, because of how centric it
I'm
is.
getting just more of a hot burst than I
For
expected.
sure.
Just on the back.
It's-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not hoppy, but it's just
No.
more than I.
So you're saying
blonde
you
ales
don't
are
think
just
it should be
notoriously.
categorized as a blonde?
What's that?
Are you saying you don't think it should be categorized as?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's.
I mean-
it's got a little bit more of, like you said, you can chew on it. Like I'm not a big fan of blonde ales
No.
because they're soft. They're not crispy. I like crispy,
I was in the blondes
and
early on.
they're
my
not. They're
craft
not
beer
known for
journey.
being hoppy. This has a little bit more of a hop profile to it than I'm
Right.
used to with a
For
blonde
sure.
ale.
And do you enjoy that about it?
I do. I love hops.
I think I'm liking that as well.
Yeah, I like hops. So that easy win for me is like
Yeah.
that's kind of why I like Cobblestone so much. It's got just enough of that hoppiness.
Just enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slight little lemon tinge.
I like
I
Yeah,
like it.
exactly.
Thank you for sharing this beer with us.
Yeah,
This is
no
delicious.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really great. And at Walking Stick, I'm coming up soon. Like I said, this was not any negative feedback for Walking Stick. I just haven't really been there a lot. But I'm gonna be going up there very soon.
Beer
Yeah,
stock
do it.
blonde.
Yes, sir.
So top 5 breweries.
Okay.
We said
True Anomaly.
True Anomaly and Holler.
Holler.
Doesn't have to be in any order.
Because it depends. It depends.
It's
on
Houston.
What,
Houston, by the
yeah,
way.
Houston.
Yes.
Houston. Okay. Including outer loop. Are
Yeah.
we doing
Yes,
that?
yeah.
Okay.
Houston.
Greater Houston.
Okay.
Greater
Okay.
Houston.
That's fair. That's fair.
We got to be in this too, right?
Yeah, we're in this.
So,
Northside's in
True,
this.
True Anomaly. Holler. Especially if you're a hazy
Galveston's
IPA
involved too,
drinker.
just to
Baba.
Baba.
Baba. It's if
So
you.
number 3's Baba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baba. No particular order. I'm just
Is
naming
Baba
5.
in your top 5? Casey?
They are.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's in my top 5. So.
But I haven't been in a while too.
Yeah. I went last week.
Heard. Man, for 4 and 5, it's because it's like, what am I not necessarily focused on?
You want to? I get it. It's a hard question.
Yeah, it is. Oh shit. For Houston.
Houston. And that includes Galveston. That includes the north
Right,
side.
right.
Includes everything in between.
I mean, we mentioned Baba, and they're like way the fuck out
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No,
Sure.
no, to me that is as far as it goes.
Any
Okay.
Heights, New Magnolias on your top 5?
I mean, we could say New Mag
Yeah.
because it depends on what's on the wall, and they rotate so
Yeah.
much, and consistency of why there's always there. Just for me, I think for the last 2, I'm gonna say for consistency, and again, because IPAs, this is an IPA city. Spindle Tap.
Okay. Yeah. And by
And-
the way, that wasn't like I was surprised, but
Okay.
I love Spindle Tap. Spindle Tap's a great.
They're
brewery.
good. They make a decent beer with whatever they want to make. They just focus on IPA, and that's okay.
They're the brewery that got me
They're
into
they're
hazy
like
IPAs.
they're like our Equilibrium. They just focus
Yeah.
really on that like
Now a lot of THC stuff,
pungent,
too.
pungent. They do.
Oh yeah.
Oh
The
shit.
THC stuff that I've tried is good.
Oh, by the way, you sell THC stuff here.
Yes, we do.
Premium
We sell Giggle Water.
The
Yes.
My High Tie and the was it Cotton something High Cotton?
They got a
There's
new
a
one.
variety.
The My High Tie,
Uh,
yeah.
I just got in some THC product from Surly, actually, which they make that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Surly. We got
Yeah.
Furious IPA.
You got
and-
that Cheech and Chong thing, huh?
Yes, we do.
What's your highest milligram?
25.
All right, bottle shops can do that. Since we're reps, we've learned that like milligrams matter for on-premise versus off-premise.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to have an on-premise like 50% milligram THC drink.
Yeah.
100%.
They're not around anymore, but I was a really big fan of Klaus Brewing. I think it.
Yeah.
That's top 5?
It
I
really-
love Cloud.
it
Klaus was
really-
good.
It really hurts that
Yeah.
they went through one of the most anomalous reasons to close, but they had an almost all electronic system, and something happened, and they couldn't fix it. If you can't make beer,
I passed
brother,
by
you're going out
yesterday,
of
the sign's
business.
still up.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was what it was.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, talk to Mitch, man. He'll tell you all the details.
Mitch,
but
seeing Mitch
that
every
was
day.
the Cliff Note version. Was that they had a really serious just error and they couldn't figure out what was going on with their brewing system one day.
I remember they announced they were closing, and then like a week or two later, they were like, "We have a lot of like I guess fan support that were like, we're willing to pay money and do whatever we need to do to figure out." But they mentioned something about that problem in the post, but then I guess they never could get it fixed.
Yeah,
You know, I have
that
their
sucks.
cornhole
you
boards
can't
at my
expect a
house.
brewery to just buy all that
I bought
equipment
their
again,
cornhole
you know?
boards.
Yeah.
And I bought a little bit of shelving from them when they were closing. It was really sad to see. I was kind of a regular at Klaus for a while. It's 15 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
The Thursday leader night was just killer.
Stein night, was that your time?
It was Wednesday or Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, I bought a Stein there, and I would
I
do
have a Stein.
$5
yeah.
fill up.
I have like 3 other glasses.
Yeah, it was a great price. That keg getting to you?
I cannot sit on that.
So just to review the top 5, Klaus. Who else did we say? We said Holler. We said.
Hey, grab a stool from outside.
Yeah, I will. Oh, we're
about to take a break.
Take a break, got it. And lastly,
Baba and who else?
so like, you know, Great Heights Holler,
Yeah.
Trinoli, Spindle
Baba,
Tap,
Spindle
and
Tap, yeah.
Copperhead.
Oh, Copper, not Baba.
Copperhead. No, Baba's on there.
I think we named 6 of them now.
I think we
did?
named 6.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you added Copperhead. That's
The,
fine.
the last one before I forgot was going to be Copperhead. Their philosophy, which is like, this is what we make. Fuck you if you want anything else.
Yeah?
And those recipes have just gotten better over time.
You ever been to Copperhead, Casey?
I've never been.
It's in Conroe.
Beer's good.
Feels like
I've
an
had their
Irish
beers.
bar.
They're definitely known for Medusa, which is their Belgian
Yeah,
quad.
I think I had some Medusa
On the
in my
King
house.
of- King of Terrors
on the
is what
stickier
they're-
side in King of Terrors.
Yeah, King of Terrors. I've had,
And,
which I've tried several times. I've tried different variations of it, and it's probably it is, in my opinion, the best stout in the
Casey,
greater.
grab a chair.
Striker
Grab a
IPA.
chair real quick.
was
No, I'm
one of
fine,
my
guys.
favorite
I'm fine.
I
IPAs
want
as
to do
well.
one more thing, but go ahead and grab a chair.
No, don't make me grab a chair. I'm fine. I'm fine. If I'm making you uncomfortable, that's on you.
Oh, just the positioning of the camera. Okay, and because we're about to do the T-shirt thing, so
Oh, okay. Yeah.
so grab a stool.
I'll just sit back down. It's fine.
Okay. Sorry.
Tell me what to do, Brandon.
Physically
Fuck.
butthurt, not emotionally.
No, I want to be able to clip this.
I'm gonna sit Indian style on the ground for the next round.
Right.
So we're about to go, but I did want to go, and this is something we're going to start doing.
Oh, cool.
We have a T-shirt for you.
Oh shit, cool.
It's a beer someone. Do you
I
mind
need to-
showing it to your camera?
Which one?
That
one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that camera.
Hey.
Yeah. And that's a large. Large is good, I'm assuming.
Good. Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
So we have 2 winners. You picked out 2 winners.
Well, I picked out one, and then we started the podcast.
Oh no.
But I have it pulled up right here, so this is
You
easy.
picked out one.
I picked out one.
Because we submitted earlier in the week in a clip, and we put out that we were going to pick 2 winners who liked, shared, and followed us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And I know you picked one from Facebook, right?
Yes. One. Well, both of them. Yeah, both of them are from Facebook.
Well, I think Facebook got the most content for sure.
Eddie Villarreal was the first one,
Okay.
and then Heidi Harris.
Heidi Harris.
Heidi
Okay.
Harris.
Heidi Harris, and what was the first name? Eddie.
Eddie Villarreal.
Eddie Villarreal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to message Eddie and Heidi, and I'm going to get their addresses, and we're going to ship you some Beer Someone T-shirts. Thank you so much
Yep.
for supporting the podcast. And,
Absolutely. Thank you guys. That is really cool.
and we're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep doing giveaways, so you'll have an opportunity to get more shirts.
I got the chance to wear the shirt to the Kendrick Lamar show last week.
That's cool.
And I got lots of compliments and a lot of little head turns on the shirt. I think it's people recognize it. They know what that is, that image. And so I think this is it's a really cool shirt.
That's good marketing, bud.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So I'm going to say right now we're going to give away 2 more. So if you, by the way, we're probably going to clip this again. If you want to win a T-shirt, follow, like, share on either Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You don't have to do all 3. Just do one of them. You got to entry. More you do, by the way, the more entries you get in this little.
And we will draw from not just Facebook next
Yes.
time.
the most Facebook had the most. Facebook got like 7,000 views on that video
Yeah.
so far. It might be more by the time
Yeah.
you see it. And there was a lot of interaction.
Yeah.
But check us out on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube as well.
Yep.
And for an
Absolutely.
opportunity to win a shirt. Thank you so much for everybody that's been checking out the podcast. We're going to take a break.
Yep. I'm gonna let my ass feel normal for a little bit.
Thanks,
It
guys.
needs
We'll be
to
right back.
Reinflate.
Hello, and welcome to Spider Games. A few years ago, I started selling a couple video games on eBay. Now I'm selling video games of all generations, retro toys, and anything I think's cool. I'm a top-rated seller because I package well and I take care of my customers. Check out my store on eBay. It's called Spider Games. Do you have any old video games sitting around? I buy video games of all generations, and I pay better than the game stores. If you do, email me at spidergamesebay@gmail.com.
I'm also known as DJ Sino. You can find me at least a couple of different breweries or craft beer bars throughout the month hosting the best music bingo in all of Houston. We'll be sharing those shenanigans right here on the Beer Someone podcast.
F your liver, the game that will have you salute the general, and then say the alphabet backwards, and then elect the president, and then bust a move, and then throw a ninja star, and then shoot your finger gun, and then roar like a T-Rex, and then freeze like ice, and then karate chop, and then bust a rhyme, and then bet on a horse race, and then spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and then make your buddy laugh. Don't touch the ground because the floor is lava. Tell a story. Read my lips. Just grab 3 to 20 friends, a drink of your choice, shuffle and flip the top card, and let the chaotic hilarity unfold. F your liver, a game worth drinking to.
Hey, everybody, we're back to Beer Someone. That's weird wearing the headphones and doing that. Anyways, so we just talked for an hour about a lot of cool things. And my phone died because we're recording this on my phone right now, I'm going to be honest. And for some reason, I did not expect this, but it completely deleted like an hour's recording. So
And
that sucks.
And for 30 minutes, we talked about dildos, and we just
yes.
all that got erased.
This man
All
is,
the
this man is
dildos. It sucks. It was gold. The first half was gold, though, so I'm happy we recorded that. But I think this has been an amazing podcast. I'm disappointed that we lost.
We'll get him next time, Doctor.
There's some really good tangents, and yeah, I don't know if we're
we'll
gonna
get
be able
there. We'll be back.
But
we'll get there.
It's very late. It's 11:10 now. We've been doing this for. We've been here since 6.
3 hours.
4
Yeah.
hours.
4 hours.
We've been here for 4.
But let's try to come back, and I would like to revisit because I feel like we can remember those topics
Yeah,
at
for sure.
least.
Just
Maybe
write
not
'em
everything
down.
we said verbatim, but
Not a big
topics. I think we remember what we
Yeah.
talked about.
You know what I want to talk about real quick, and it's something we didn't talk about, so we'll save all that stuff, and we'll come back to it. But we're at 4%. My phone's overheating, but it sounds like everything's being recorded.
Okay.
Adam, what do you think about doing a podcast?
I've wanted to do something like that conceptually for since before COVID. I mean, I have the really bare bones stuff to do it at home. Like, I have the interface, I have the microphone, I know how to record, all of that. It's I have a tendency to have troubles with executing concepts, doing a mock exam, and the joke with artists is like, what do you do with your art? And when you're done, you're like, stare at it until I hate it, and that's me with my voice. So I need someone to actually do it with me to make sure I just don't do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Also,
really?
just don't go back and listen.
You just don't do it. Don't do it.
I
Can't do that with music,
listen
but
to
you can.
most of our podcasts, but it's hard sometimes to listen to them.
I like listening to them.
I do.
Yeah.
It's just it's hard for it's a lot. Definitely listening to yourself is hard.
No, I'm hypercritical of myself,
Yeah.
but I'm not so critical of the sound of my voice as much as I used to be because I sang in bands. I think that's really what got me over that bullshit was that I had to recordings and just through the microphone and stuff like that. I just got. I am at the beginning of that. I fucking hated it. I was like, God, I sound terrible. I didn't want to sing forever until I finally just was like, well, I guess I
You
gotta
don't know
do
how
it.
you sound until you hear yourself back. That's the thing, though, right?
Yeah.
You can't if you just listen to the impression that you think you have in your head. You don't know.
Yeah. No, I've learned that I've got to get over my own bullshit because I've
Same thing with selling beer.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Same thing with buying beer, probably.
Right.
Like, what beer's the right beer? Am I making the right decision right now? But back to our point about the podcast. I think that me and Casey have been talking about it, and I have all this equipment and stuff, and maybe producing some other local podcasts would be interesting.
Brandon has some lovely equipment.
Heard.
Okay. Well, it's okay. But I see an opportunity. I think you're somebody that's very knowledgeable in this community, and I want to extend the idea of the Beer Someone podcast. And maybe you told me an idea for a name if you did a podcast.
Right. So I wanted to do a really no holds barred, like it is nothing personal, just going to like I want to do beer reviews that are just like going in, just being truthful. And I want an outlet for like some of my jokes, and I want an outlet for me as like a person in general. I wrote a lot when I was younger, but different art forms have different forms of patience, and I just lost that kind of patience, especially like really being serious about music. And now that I'm getting older and just slowing down, and like the process of writing, physically writing, is really therapeutic. And I want the podcast to be an extension of that for me, so that I can do what I love to do, which is pick apart beers. And like, there is no perfect beer. There is always going to be room for improvement. And I want to, the goal for me is to tell people, especially local breweries, what they need to hear to improve their product.
That's a big part about being in the industry.
Yeah.
Being able to take criticism.
You have to. You have to, man. Money is black and white. There's nothing personal about what makes money and what doesn't make money.
Right.
Doesn't have to
You've
do with
worked every element within the bar scene. You know what
everywhere.
sells.
Yeah. And I know that we as Houston can do, as a city, as a brewing culture, and as a city that is new, like a new, fresh. Our drinking culture is in an infancy, and if we can reinforce quality and education standards without being dickheads, without being pretentious, there is no reason that we can't be on par with like California, Washington, and Oregon, and so on. There's no reason that we can't do that.
Yeah.
Like I said, we talked for an hour. Y'all didn't get to hear it. It was between us, apparently. But I just want to say that I love the Houston craft beer scene. I think we are on par with all those places. And we were during that hour that everybody missed, we were very critical within the Houston craft beer scene. But I definitely think, I agree with you. There's always room for improvement.
Right.
100%. And I think the breweries that can take criticism and make the necessary changes are the ones that are going to continue to exist here in the Houston market.
Absolutely. I agree.
Right. Yeah. Don't be afraid to, even if in a community where there is kind of this toxic positivity where no one wants to say anything bad for the sake of salesmanship and marketing, which is not the case. The thing that really separates us as a culture, as a beer drinking culture, whether or not it's Houston or any other city, is that all of the other forms of imbibement and spirits, they're not afraid to hold each other to the same standards that other people hold to each other to.
Right.
And it doesn't mean we have to be a jerk about it, but beer is a living thing, and it is made more frequently. It has the largest deviations in flavor. It has the largest amounts of things that can go wrong with it. We have to be vocal. And I just want people that are new drinkers, especially people that might be hearing this, is that, like, be critical, even if you think that you don't know enough to be critical, and go to the brewery and just talk to them, man, or talk to the rep. Like, being a member of the community isn't just drinking the beer. It's communicating with us.
I just want to put that out there. If you see me out in the wild at your local craft beer bar, or maybe even brewery, because I do visit a lot of local craft breweries in this city, feel free to come and talk to me about beer or about anything. I'm an open book, and I think Casey would probably say the same thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. The beer community, wherever you are, especially in Houston, where we don't have a lot of the advantages, is that the allegory is that the community here is like a beer. It is a dynamic, living, flexing, breathing thing. And if we don't support it, it will die.
Yeah.
And so we have to do our best. We need to do better when there's not just a pint in our hand.
Right.
That's a part of being in community.
Yeah.
What can you do when you just don't have a pint in your hand? And it's not a call to arms for like all the people that are super nerds and super into it, but like, fuck, man, just let your local brewery know how you felt about it. Let them know what you like. Let them know what you don't like.
Yeah.
Because they might not say it until you ask, but breweries are usually starved for constructive criticism.
Right.
At
Starved,
least
man.
the good ones are, for sure.
Right. The people that want to improve and they want to learn from if they are making mistakes or just doing better, kind of in general.
Yeah, and to your point about people that are like they feel like they're not like their opinion's not validated enough because they don't know enough about beer. Like I remember, hearing criticisms about beers from whatever brewery or not even breweries, but just craft beer establishments that I worked at, where somebody was giving me, their opinion about a beer, and they told me, they're like, I don't know much about beer, but I'm telling you this. Even if their descriptors were hard to follow, I was always able to wrap my head around what they were getting at. And I would taste the beer and be like, I see what you're saying. I see what you're going with.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but for the most part, if they were giving me an honest criticism, I was like, I see where you're going with this. And you're right. People do need to be more critical because to your point, like people are, you call it toxic positivity, and that's I want to be positive. I'm guilty of it. This a while ago, Brandon's guilty of it. We all are guilty of kind of like, this is great. This is so good. And it's like, it's just really, sometimes it's not good at all. And you know what I mean? Like, we just have to be more honest. I think it's hard for us because of the position that we're in.
Right.
That makes it a little difficult. But for you especially, and obviously any patron to the industry.
100%.
Yeah.
It's different from whiskey. It takes 10 years to figure out if you fucked up. Your average batch of IPA only takes about maybe 11 to 14 days to ferment.
Yeah.
And then that means that in 2 weeks, I get to have feedback on what I can do better. It's an unusual, if not expensive, privilege that we can have, but we all have to utilize it.
Right.
And if we all do our part, then it's not going to take 20 years for the beer to get better,
Right.
So I'm not saying call everybody out, but I am saying that, like, if you truly, sincerely feel, especially when it comes to batch quality, and we're not talking about people that really got it nailed down. Like, we're not going to worry about that with St. Arnold or anything. But just like your local breweries that are really working out kinks, a lot of those brewers haven't been brewing for 20 years, man. They have a dream and they have to act on it, and they need your help.
And it's their dream. This
man.
is their life mission.
We've all tasted food that hasn't been made with love, right? At the end of the day, I can sit here and eat at a Michelin star restaurant. I want what my mom cooked. And that's kind of what's an extension with beer. I can taste the fucking love. And I want and I need more of that in town, bro.
Yeah.
I need more of that.
Heard that.
100%.
Agreed.
Like we said, we went for an outing. It's really great. But it is 11:30 right now. So
we'll wrap up and we'll talk about a lot of this. We'll revisit our points in the future.
For sure. And like we said, maybe there's a future where Addam has his own podcast with
No problem.
I think that's going to happen because I think you're great, and I want to keep hearing more of what you have to say.
There's a story and history aspect.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big history nerd in general, and beer. A lot of times with beer, man, those stories are just as fascinating as the beer itself.
Do you have anything you want to say to close it out?
I think that when it comes to people that are listening that are not necessarily working in the industry, it's really important for you as an individual to branch out and to challenge yourself with new things. I feel like a lot of people relatively are not picky eaters, and it's really easy for people to try new things to eat every day. You got to eat 3 times a day. And when it comes to beer, when you break off that mentality that it's just to relax, and you adopt the mentality of, okay, if you're like me and you have a thirst for knowledge, oh my God, man, like beer, like the beer community absolutely would just welcome you in really warm arms. Doesn't mean you need to be a brewer. Doesn't mean you need to do it for a living, but just having people that really want to try everything new and see what there is. Like, I've been doing this for 12 years, and I am still tasting things that I never thought in my life could possibly be possible in beer.
If you want to try a lot of different things, and if you're looking for a community, the craft beer scene in Houston is for you. I think so. I agree.
And I really, especially
Very
because
welcoming.
I can't name anybody that really does what I do, like being really focused on import. And especially if you're really serious about like pedigree, the Cicerone program, like if you really want to like figure out the most efficient way to build your cabin and to just kind of learn, and also if you just feel kind of inexperienced with those things, I really want people to come and talk to me about it. Because the one thing that I really enjoy, that's the one thing that I really enjoy with everything is that, like, if you think that you can do this, and I'm not talking about the labor, if you really love what you do, it's not about how hard it is. But if this is something that you really want to do and you don't know where to start, there is a system on how to do this, and I just really welcome people to come and just talk to me about it, because I wouldn't do this if I didn't want to share it with people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing with beer, is that it's so centered on community at the end of the day when there's nothing left in the glass.
I think that's why
Right.
We
me and
love
Casey
each
are
other.
also both
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, that's the number one. That's it. It's not just about beer and getting a buzz. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot more.
For me, so Megaton is in Kingwood. That's where I grew up. And even when I was at Backview, which was important, almost Kingwood, it was about sharing beer from my community with
Right.
the rest of Houston. And I've gotten to do that. It's been amazing. And I'm sure that's the same. You're from Kingwood as well.
There's a certain, I don't know, there's a difference with the type of camaraderie that you can gain with someone if you've never met them over a beer versus just a casual handshake or, something quick like that. There's something about having a beer with somebody that's...
It's the working man's beverage.
Goes
We
deeper.
all got off of work. We're all trying to relax. And because it's, so, relatively speaking at least, the lowest alcohol percentage by serving, it is the ultimate social tool, I mean, out of all alcohol created, beer was the first. And I'm not necessarily saying that, like, there's like a primordial genesis kind of aspect to that, but we really worked really hard to make sure that people kept making beer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's something to be said historically.
They even just kind of wrote it into religion somehow,
Yeah,
We'll figure it out. Just fucking make sure it's okay.
But yeah, I really encourage anyone that doesn't know about, because to love beer is to love all of it. And if you really want to explore on the other side of the pond, which I've been doing for years, I just really encourage people to talk to me about it, because I can't think of anyone
Please
else.
come to Premium Draught beer.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
boy.
missed it, but we had a whole podcast about that.
I hate them, man. They don't.
He did pour one for us, though.
Yeah, they don't prepare you for anything else. That's
Haze Bros
that's
Unite.
the reason I don't like them. And they're kind of, I'm sorry if you like hazies, man. They're just kind of designed for people with the palate of a teenager. There's nothing nuanced about them, with some exceptions, but they are rare.
Yeah, I just like hops. That's really
That's
it.
fair.
Because I don't just
I'm-
like hazies.
I like all beer. Casey likes all beer.
Yeah.
I like hazy. I'm a haze head.
Yeah.
But I like all
I am
beer.
all about the New Zealand hops, though.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
just such a breath of fresh air. I had a hazy called Wakey Wakey. I think it was Wakey Wakey from Jester King, and it was a all New Zealand hop hazy IPA. Fuck, it was good.
But it
But it was different.
because all their IPAs are infected, right?
No.
All their beers.
No. They make clean beer now. They have a separate facility where they
Okay.
make clean beer,
All right.
and they're doing a great
I thought
job.
that because I swear I've had IPAs there. I was like, this still is infected with bread
I
or whatever.
have one. I have Noble
whatever
King. I have. It's a farmhouse IPA.
One of the
I-
13 different bacteria that float
know.
around in the air there.
4.
Whatever. It's a lot.
Here's 4. Yeah, let's go ahead and
Thank
let's
you so
put a
much
pin
for
in it.
watching. It's been so much fun here at Premium Draught.
Cheers.
With Addam and Casey. We will be back again, and there might be an Addam podcast in the future on the Beer Someone Network.
Man.
I would love that. Yeah.
That would be
All right.
cool. We're talking about maybe a once a month podcast.
I'll have to write everything out. Yeah.
This guy has ideas. He wanted to do a podcast before we asked him to do this podcast.
I just haven't been motivated. I guess I have to have people to push it. Whatever.
Yeah.
man.
I'll
Whatever.
push it.
All
'Cause
right.
I see
Yeah.
magic. I do. I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun.
All right.
I'm hungry as fuck.
You want some of my burrito? Just kidding.
It's time to order Cantina Barbecue and go to D&T.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for watching. Catch us next. In 2 weeks, we'll be at 8th Wonder Brewing for podcast.
Eighth Wonder.
Number
Cool.
8.
For number 8.
Number 8.
Fuck yeah.
That's gonna be
you go.
fun.
Excited. Yeah. Eighth
Yeah, I'm
Wonder.
excited.
That'll
yeah.
be fun.
Get high as
Later.
fuck.
All right.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.